jobs, but we have a lot of opportunities in this country. We live in such a beautiful country, guys. We cannot lose hope. So I just am grateful that I'm part of your evening today. So just to share a bit about myself, I'm Millicent Mashele, yes. I'm an accountant and auditor, a professional businesswoman. I run a consulting firm called the Legacy Center. I started working in 2007. I started working at the bank, and then I left corporate in 2016. So over the years in corporate, I've been a manager. I've done recruitment in corporate space. And since I've left corporate, in my business, I recruit. Guess I'm the chief recruiter in my business. So I have experience in terms of recruitment, and I also go for interviews myself. I always say I don't fail interviews, but I used to fail them. So at the moment, I don't even tempt myself to put my profile on the market, because if I'm in the market, it means I'm gonna go to an interview and I'm gonna be tempted by the millions. And yeah, the business is still growing, so the millions are not there yet. So guys, I just want to share what really makes a unique professional. I guess I have more than 10 years experience, and over the season, I've even been blessed to be part of the top 35 under 35 finalists for SAICA, and that is a privilege that I take very serious. What makes a good professional is not their English. I'm sure you can hear my English is really the Tsonga one, and I'm so proud of it. I call myself a village girl. It's not the English, it's not the qualifications. I know a lot of CAs and I know a lot of professionals who are so qualified on their CVs. But then when you get to talk to them, you realize, no, this is not the right fit. In my experience, and really what makes a good and a great professional is who they are. It's their personality. Personality separates a good professional from the rest of the professionals. If you have a qualification, you have a basic foundation, you have something to knock on the door, but to get a job, you need to be that professional who's unique. And what that comes with, it comes with personal development. If there's anything they don't teach us at school, is personal development. And personal development, I feel, should start from grade R. We all need to start knowing who we are. But unfortunately, in this country, we don't have such classes where we're really also learning about who we are, what our personality means, and how we can add value in whatever we touch, because we know who we are. So I just want to say, take time to develop yourself as a person. It is a journey that you need to invest on, because your CV is a representation of your personality and who you are. And it is the commitment you make towards building yourself. And it comes with confidence. So you need to first know who you are for you to gain confidence. And you gain confidence by experience. You cannot gain confidence if you haven't experienced certain things. Let me share with you how I developed my confidence. I used to be very shy. I remember when I finished articles, they could not even give me a job while I was qualified to be an assistant manager, because I was not showing it to them that I'm qualified. I'm actually there. I could not prove to my managers that I can go and hold a meeting in a boardroom. That's how shy I was. Then I started saying, you know what, Millicent, you are smart. You have the qualifications, but you don't have the personality. Then I started the journey of personal development. I wanted the world to know me, who I am, by me expressing who I am. So I then started to say, I need to gain confidence of who I am. Then I volunteered on things like church. I used to speak out. I used to be part of their committees. I used to be the one remaining and raising a hand. Even now, I've developed a tendency that I don't go to a meeting and not speak. I want to go to a meeting and be noticed because I said something. because I have an opinion. So most of us, our CVs are it's just that qualification that you got, and it's just like a copy and paste of I'm a very ambitious person. We're not seeing that thing that differentiates you from the rest of the people. So invest in getting skill. If you are a professional in the accounting space, there's a school near you. You don't have to wait for you to be employed. You go to that school. I'm a professional. I have done this and this. I'll start. I can volunteer to help you with your books. Principals will be happy. When you are not going there for a job, you're going there to prove your skill and experience and talk and show off who you are. So I want us guys to be dedicated to really pursuing the personal development education, because when you educate yourself as a person, the rest of the things and the qualifications just comes in and fit in. And you don't have to wait. Like there is free platforms that you can go and learn. You know, nowadays it is very important to learn more than just what you went to schools. I'm still learning about digital marketing, personal branding. Every day I'm on a free course, but I don't have to, but I'm enhancing who I am. I push myself beyond myself. I'm not just a numbers person. I'm not an accountant. I'm Millicent. The accounting thing is just a value that I add through the other things I do. I have a personality that is multi-skilled, that helps me deliver value. So then I need to show it off to the world. If I don't say to the world, this is me, and become the authentic me, no one will employ me. I have graduated our firm. When we are in a meeting, you say, what's your opinion on this? I don't know what to say. Then you're like, but you have knowledge from that paper. So believe in the qualification, believe in the paper that you got, and take that paper and ask yourself, with that paper, what does this paper mean to me? If it means that, if it said you are a qualified internal auditor, do what it says, do it. Don't wait for someone to give you approval. If it says you know controls, when you go to ShopRite, start seeing the controls and living them. So it's the living that is missing, that we don't even see in the interviews, we don't even see in the CV. So without really wasting your time is really to say, can you live what the papers say? Can we see it in your CV? Because you have achievements, you have skills, you have extra things you pursue learning without being told to learn. When there is a free platform to learn communication, you went into it and you learned. So yeah, that will be my advice to you. Pursue personal development beyond qualifications, and that will separate you. And personal development is getting to know yourself, your personality, and you're not gonna compete in the market. I'm telling you guys, I'm not lying. I don't fail interviews, and I'm not the best of the best. But when I get into interview, because I know who I am and I know my skills, I tell people, and my aura as a personality attracts the employer to want to work with me. Even with clients now, with our business, once a client speaks to me, they want to work with us because of that personality element. I know, good, if I laugh with my principals like this, they will say, Millie, then we chat, then we do that, because of the personality that I've built. So believe in yourself, work on yourself, and your CV and your qualification will just be enhanced. Thank you, McJoke. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Mashele. Before I let you go, I just want you to touch base on I saw a Facebook status that you posted that really went viral this week. You talked about professionals relying on job descriptions, and do we really know our value, or do we rely on job description? If there was no job description, can you wouldn't really provide value? Can you please touch a bit on that before I take over? Thank you.
So that is actually inspired by me when I finished, when I qualified as a CA. I felt like I've studied so much to be just working within just a 1-pager or 2-pager job description. All good and well, I was adding value. But I was like, you know what, guys, I've studied so much. Like I know derivatives, I know deferred tax, you know how we go all in with the technicalities. But when am I going to use it if I'm waiting for somebody? I did not have much experience in business, but I said, this is a business qualification. I can go out there, and when I say I'm a CA, people will believe me. I'm going to implement what I've learned. And what I've learned is a methodology, is a process, is a way of doing things. I start there. So the qualification or that piece of paper, when they gave you a lot in it. They gave you tools to do so much. But when you wait for someone to just draw up a certain 2-pager or a 3-pager, they are limiting you to create only that, because every day we're creating something by what we are doing. So you need to believe that in that qualification, if they said, marketing, can you go to social media and start marketing? Can you go to the local community school and say, I'll handle all your social media? And you know how to handle their social media because they taught you a marketing methodology. They taught you a marketing strategy. How they taught you, you take it and apply it. So don't forget the principles. That's why I call myself an education activist, because education is powerful. The methodologies and the tools that they gave us over the years can be implemented by anyone who has them and believe in them. But the challenge is that we don't believe in them. We're waiting for someone to tell us what to do while we can do it today. And you don't do it for money, you do it to show that you can do it. And when you show that you can do it, the world will pay for it. And don't be scared to say who can pay for it. You start from small thing. I remember when I started my firm, I used to just do tax clearance because the only people I could find is the ones who wanted tax clearance. I didn't even know really how the administration of SARS work. But I started. Now I don't really do tax clearance. We do projects and all that. So it's the start and the belief that you know tax clearance, how you get it, and you relearn and relearn and relearn. But we're also not willing to relearn because we feel like we are educated. There's no day you must feel you are educated. Every day it's a learning opportunity to create something new. So yeah, that's why I actually posted about the job description and the qualifications. Most of us, we go to school over the years just to use 1% of what we've learned. Imagine such a waste of money and time.
No, that was powerful. That was so powerful. So I believe I believe I should do my presentation, and then we're gonna be asking questions after. But let me just show you. Let me just show you something outside my presentation. When you look at the screen, this is the total. This is the total number of people who RSVP'd for this event, including myself. So there are 24 people outside myself who RSVP'd for the event. But surprisingly, there are only 3 people outside me and Miss Mashele who are actually joining the event. So it says a lot about us as, you know, Black people. It's like we are fighting change, we are fighting education. But then the reason why I specifically wanted 10 people is because I knew we were going to have a small number. So the small number of the people who came through are people that I really celebrate. So I would really from the bottom of my heart like to take this time to thank you for putting out time to attend this webinar. It's more than you know, spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes on Zoom. It's you sharing a piece of your lifespan so that you can create life for yourself. It's you sacrificing time, sacrificing generations, sacrificing scandal so that you can make something of yourself. So from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you. So let's get started. I believe you can see the screen. If you see the screen, just type I see. Can you see, Miss Mashele? Confirm for everyone. Okay, we all see. We all can see. So 7 burning questions every CV must. Okay, Kutlwano will get to you. 7 burning questions every CV must answer. 7 burning questions every CV must answer. Number 1. Oh, we're not yet there. I forgot to introduce myself. So my name is McJoke, the strategist, and I am a healthcare strategist. I work with a lot of doctors. I have my own marketing agency. So a bit about me. Suppose that your unconscious mind could do almost anything that you can imagine. All that power can be yours if you work with a partner who can turn your imagination into marketable tools. That's me. I turn people's imagination into marketable tools. So no matter how wide your imagination is, MacJuke will build you a ladder to help you reach even your most ambitious dreams. That's a brief about me. So number 1, why are you interested in this job, company, or industry? Why are you specifically interested in this job, company, or industry? Because most of the time, what we do is we are we are just throwing CVs anyway. We're just throwing CVs anyway, but we don't have a strategic objective of why we want this particular job, company, or industry. All we do is when we see a post, we are throwing it, throwing it, throwing it, throwing it, hoping that somebody would listen. So the first thing your CV needs to answer is, why are you interested in this job? If you can answer that question, there will be a miracle for you. What we do is we work and think a lot like the AK-47. When we are submitting jobs, we are using the AK-47 strategy. So all we do is just pa, 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 pa. So we don't even get to think about, Mario, and like, why do I want this job? Am I applying for this job for the sake of applying, or am I applying for this job to create for a life for myself? Am I applying for this job because I want professional and personal growth? Am I applying for this job because it's either I want a job or a career? So first thing is first, you really, really, really from day one have to know why you are interested in a certain company or in a certain job. Use the sniper strategy. A sniper is somebody who's very articulate, somebody who's very calculative, somebody who knows exactly what they want. And they study, the keyword is study. They study their target. So study your target, study the company that you want to work for, study the job that you want to work for, and provide that much needed value. So the first thing that you need to understand is, why am I interested in this particular job? Number 2, what value can you bring to the organization? That's a very, very important question, because you get hired for bringing value to the organization. You don't get hired for you to sit and spend your time there. The organization don't hire you so that you can fill in the time, but they hire you to put value into the time. So as an individual, as a graduate, as a human being, ask yourself, what is my value? What exactly am I bringing on the table? Because if you are bringing nothing on the table, then nobody would consider you. So you have to understand, what value are you bringing into the organization. If you've studied economics, the first law of economics is, we get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. We don't get paid for time, but we get paid for bringing value into the time. Yes, it takes time to build and to create value, but we don't get paid for time. We get paid for bringing value into the time. So what is the value that you are bringing into the time that you are being hired for? You have to know that with all of your heart. Question number 3, what is your current and future potential? What is your potential now? And what is your future potential tomorrow? Because the ability for you, in the law of professionalism, the ability for you to be a professional depends on you being able not to be irreplaceable. Depends on you being able not to be irreplaceable, because there are people who have bigger skills than you. There are people who are wiser than you. There are people who are smarter than you. But it's what is that current potential that you have that nobody in this universe can ever have in their hands? And once you know that current potential, also ask yourself, what future potential can I bring for this company? Because they are hiring you because of your potential. So if your CV does not clearly state what your potential is, what you can do for the organization, then you have failed as a candidate. A majority of the time is we speak 80% about ourselves when we are applying or crafting CVs or writing motivational letters or writing cover letters. We are speaking 80% about ourselves, a whooping 80% about ourselves, and 20% about what we can do for the organization. So what we need to do is we need to just change the narrative. We need to make minor adjustments that are going to make major differences. You need to speak 80% about what you can do for the company and 20% about you. 80% about the problems you can solve, 80% about the potential you can give, 80% about the value you can provide, and 20% about yourself. We need to get rid of I am passionate, I work hard under pressure. Nobody cares about that. They don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. So the moment when I look at your CV and the first thing that I see is I am able to work under pressure, I'm passionate, I have interpersonal skills, you have lost me as a hiring manager. The first thing that I want to see, because we have attention span of a fish, we have micro attention span. The first 6 seconds, I want to see the value that you provide for me. I want to see the transformation that you provide for me. I don't want to see a lot about yourself, but I want to see a lot about what you can do for me. Here's another question. Who are you and why are you fit for this particular job? Who are you and why are you fit for this particular job? Are you fit for the particular job that you are applying for? Or are you just applying? Are you fit for the particular job that you're applying for? Or are you just applying? And most importantly, you have to know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know your professionalism, therefore you are irrelevant in the marketplace. You have to know 100% who you are and what you can do, and if you are fit for the job. And for you to be fit for the job, let me tell you one thing. No company is looking for a mediocre employees. The most expensive, the highest expenditure in a company is its employees. Companies don't want to spend a ridiculous amount on employees that are not productive. So once you know that information, companies want value. So you have to know that I have value and I am fit for this particular position. Companies want quality. Most of the time, we want quality jobs, but we are not quality ourselves. So here's the thing. If you want a quality job, you must be quality first. I hope you wrote it down. If you want a quality job, you must be a quality person first, meaning what Ms. Mashele said, you have to work on a daily basis on your personal development. Make your personal development your job description. Make your personal development a study. Make your personal development your occupation. If you want a quality job, you must be a quality person, because companies are looking for quality. You are competing with freelancers, you are competing with automations, you are competing with artificial intelligence, you are competing with robots. Why should an employer choose you over Sage accounting software, over Zero accounting software, over Bitrix, over Monday.com? What is that value that you can provide for the employer? Here's another question. What's the most incredible, most powerful outcome that you provide? Let that sink in for a second. What's the most incredible, most powerful outcome that you provide? What's that one thing that you do that nobody in this world cannot do? You also have to put on your CV. If you can solve problems, if you know system engineering and you are a unicorn at system engineering, write it down on your CV. If you know how to write and you are an eagle at writing, write it down on your CV. That most powerful outcome that you provide is the reason why companies will hire you. So make a self introspection. What is that thing? What is your superpower? What are your superpowers? And can you use these superpowers to provide value for a certain company? Another question: what are your non professional interests? Not your hobbies. Not I love swimming, I love reading, I love watching TV. No, 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 no. What are your non-professional interests? What other skills, what other accolades do you have outside your profession that can provide value for the company? Is it writing? Is it speaking? Is it social media management? Is it what are those um, extra skills that you have that can provide value for the organization? And another one is what are your results? Even if you don't have experience, you do have results somewhere. And if you don't have results, you need to start creating results. You need to making results because at the end of the day, results are the name of the game. Write that down. Results are the name of the game. And guess what? And guess what? Why should an employer hire you? Because they want results. So write down the results that you are providing, whether you have experience or you don't have experience. If you don't have experience, go outside and look for experience, volunteer, be a part of something and create those results for yourself. Here are other questions. 7 ways to prove impact on your CV. 7 ways to prove impact on your CV. Okay, we talked, Ms. Marshall just shared a powerful, powerful presentation with us. And I just want you guys to see this. Just a few sentences. Just a few sentences. You don't even need to look at her entire CV, but you are already sold. And there are no power words here, there are no guarantees, just simple language. Ne? Say hi to our lead auditor and opportunity advisor. Okay, if I am applying for a job, I am applying for a certain post. So show she's an auditor and opportunity advisor. So one thing that you should do is when you apply for a job, also state the position that you are applying for. Also state the position that you are applying for. Millicent Mashele, here are her accolades, but these things are the least interesting thing about Millicent Mashele. These are her results. SAICA top 35, under 35, 2020 finalists. This means that out of 35, under 35 chartered accountants in South Africa, she was noticed to be one of the best. So, I mean, out of all the accountants in South Africa last year, she was recognized as one of the best because she falls under this class of 35 accountants who are doing exceptionally well. And then we talk a bit about her business. Ms. Marshall is an auditor, accountant, a coach, business advisor. She spends time solving problems and helping other businesses create valuable, scalable, and sellable businesses. So she has communicated her value. She helps business create valuable, scalable, and sellable businesses. Her passion is to see entrepreneurs move beyond owner dependency into valuable businesses that can really make a difference in the economy. Miss Mashele has stated her value on the first page. And this is not even her CV. This is just a small description that we decided to do just to show you guys how these things are done. So here we go. Number one, what you need to do to prove impact on your CV is cost saved. Employers, they hire you because they want their costs to be saved. Are you able to save costs? Are you able to save time? So, to prove impact on your CV, state down the things that you can do that the employer sees as benefit. I can save you I can save you 30% of your expenditure. I can increase your revenue by 70%, you know, I can increase your conversion rate by 45%. Put that down because that's what the employer wants. Number two, problem solved. We are in the business of solving problems. It's either you solve a problem for an employer or you are the employer's problem. Write it down. It's either you solve problems for the organization or you are the organization's problem. So you need to make sure that you know what problems you are solving so that you can prove impact on your resume. Number three, time saved. We are living in a world of instant gratification. We want things now. We want things now. We want things now. Make sure that there are time saving techniques that you provide for the employer. What time are you saving? What activities are you saving? You know, make sure that you are saving time for the employer. Can you do something faster? Can you do something efficiently? Can you do something efficiently? If a certain task needed 10 people to complete, can you introduce a system that is going to allow the task to be completed by one or two people? You are saving time and resources. Number four, people helped. Can you help the organization? Can you help people within the organization? Can you help people outside the organization? Can you help people? Number five, generate revenue. Can you generate revenue? Because when an organization hires you, they want to generate revenue using your skills. So, can you actually generate revenue? What skills do you have that are going to generate revenue for the organization? I'm just about to be done. Awards and recognition. To prove the impact on your CV, you also need testimonials. You also need real hardcore with nuts and bolts experience type of awards, testimonials, letter of recommendations, awards, and how and when you were recognized. You also need to state those accolades. So I'm going to look for a CV. I'm going to look for a CV. I believe there's a CV somewhere in my that I just remembered now. I'll show you how guys how I did this CV. But what I did initially is when I started with the CV, I just put the lady's name and surname, and I put the awards. So instead of putting a marital status, are you single, criminal record, ID number, do I have a license? That information is not important. You want to put the most important information at the beginning of your CV because when the when the HR manager looks at the CVs, they're not actually looking at the CVs. They're just scanning for a CV that is different. So when they scan your CV, when they reach your CV, you have to put the most important information in front of the HR manager's eyes. You have to knock them out the first 6 seconds they see your CV. So get rid of all that information, driver's license, put it at the end. Start with your awards. Start with your, work experience. Start with your things that are actually tangible and that solve problems for the company. Number seven, work produced. It's just like results. You need those results. You need to prove impact on your CV with the results that you have. So this is actually my presentation and why me and Miss Mashele um, 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 decided to do this. So I'm not going to share the CV because I just realized it's client's work and I respect confidentiality. So, but just to reiterate, put the most important information where in the first page, because nowadays we want two-page CVs. So don't waste the opportunity by putting your name, surname, marriage, get rid of that information and put it at the back. Put the most important information on the first page so that you improve your chances of landing that job interview. Thank you very much. Questions, Miss Mashele?
Yes. We can take questions. Anyone with a question can just unmute and ask the question,
Yeah,
or they can on the chat box.
and also, guys, when you are in the marketplace is unforgiving. You are not in grade 10. You are not in class where they say, hey Busi, talk because Mamang is not answering. So far, so you should in the marketplace, you have to stand up and talk, even if you are wrong. So if you have questions, don't miss this opportunity. You are in the marketplace. And most of the time, what me and Miss Machele's experience is people cannot really communicate their value. You know, when we have a group of people and we are interviewing them, they are pushing out, talk first, bua pele. But in the marketplace, people will not take that. So you need to be bold. You need to ask questions because this is an opportunity for you to change your life.
Yes, Kutlwano.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you? Good to see you. Good
Good.
to see you here.
It's good to hear your voice again. Hey. So,
Yes.
I would like to ask, since like I don't have like the relevant experience that I studied at school, especially with you, ma'am. We did the auditing, but I haven't experienced anything that I've studied. And when Mr. Duke talks about you have to go look for experience, like how do you approach or how do you go to the company and approach them that you need experience for the things that you learned?
Okay. Juke, do you want to take it?
Okay, yeah, let me take it. I'm gonna use your words, Miss Marshall, when we had a podcast. You were making an example with an accounting student who's just fresh out of university. So you said because they don't have experience, why can't they go to the nearest tuck shop and say, hey, I'm going to do books for you, and then they go to another tuck shop, and then they go to another tuck shop, and then they grab that experience, and that by itself, it's experience, it's results, it's providing value for someone. So after you go to that tuck shop, you can also volunteer to a company. It's just it's just you saying, I'm going to go to that place, ask them to gain that needed experience, and then I'm going to put it on my CV. Am I saying it the right way, Miss Michelle?
I
Okay,
think so.
yes, you are. I can also come in. It's actually to believe in what you have, that you can approach someone to start doing it for them, or you can use it for your family. For example, if you have someone who's in business, you can say, let's say you have an admin, okay, you have an auditing qualification. You can say, I'll set up your controls so that there is controls in your business. You are
Okay.
actually helping that person. They did not really know. So you actually identify small opportunities to practice what you've learned. Another way is to learn the industry so well. For example, in my firm, I need people who knows Sage One, or people who knows the automated systems. So then and these systems are in the market and they are free to learn. So then you can actually say, let me take an extra step and learn and understand the system that produces a financial statement. When they ask me, we ask you in an interview about what are automated system that we can use, you can say, no, there is Zero, there is QuickBooks, there is Sage. In the difference is this and that, because you've taken time to understand the role. Like, you need to think of the role you want to become and learn it and get experience and get informal and informal experience, and that will help you. And then also experience in terms of soft skills. You might not have the experience in auditing, but you have experience in leading your own small company where you are selling cakes. So that's experience that every company needs. I want someone who's initiative. So you need to also highlight the fact that I sell cakes in the community. I employ about 3 people. In these 3 people, we are able to make so much. Then I'm like, this person will come into my firm and be able to go get a client for me. So it's as much as we need relevant experience, but we also need experience that's generic for business or for company to grow. So I'm not sure if I'm helping you or answering you.
You answered both very well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Yes, Busi.
Okay, yes, I wanted to ask, for me, I think maybe I'll be a little bit out of the line, but I wanted to ask mostly when I'm in interview, how do I sell myself? Like, I think I have a trouble when I'm being invited to interviews, so I can't really say that I passed all of them because I've been going, but I haven't had any luck yet. So I wanted to know, how do I handle interview? Maybe I got nervous or I don't know, but it seems like I got stuck there. So I wanted to find out if you guys can help me on that.
Okay. So I can come first. Interview is to get to know you. An employer wants to know you and also want to understand what you know. So it's the technical element and the soft skill element. So the soft skill element is really your confidence, is really your personality, is really your aura. When you get to an interview, when I know that there are nerves, but can you start working on the nerves? When can you start working on your confidence? Can you believe in yourself regardless of what accent you use? Are you daily practicing confidence? Confidence is the daily practice. When you are at church, I used to, when they say someone to pray, I raise my hand, I pray. Church is a very nice practice ground. I use it. When they say there is a volunteer to say something, I say it because I daily practice. Like now, I raise my hand to go speak in events, especially big events, because I want to shake off the fear of speaking in front of people, because my career goal is to speak in the UN conferences. So if I can't speak in smaller groups at a school, for example, I can't speak at UN, definitely not. So you need to practice your confidence, because you're going to go to interview. You need to practice eloquence. You need to in a family gathering, you need to say something. You have an opinion. With your friends, always be that opinion person. Then when you go to an interview, because you're used to opinions and saying your mind out, sometimes you practice to say your mind out alone. So that is soft skill. Technical skill is understanding the role. Each role is different. So if you are going for an accountant junior, you know that they would want you to do general ledger. What is a general ledger? How do you do it? If you haven't done it before, go to YouTube, understand what is a general ledger, what type of a document is it, and then how does it apply to business. You don't have to lie to say I've done it, but you say, in my understanding, this is what. Then technically we know that you fit for the role, because we also don't want to employ someone who's very confident, but they don't know how to do work. So you need to do 2 things for interview. Prepare your technical understanding about that job description. And then when work on your confidence, work on your personality, work on your nerves. Nerves will always be there, but if you are used to, you get yourself, Mina, when I get there, I'm Millicent, because I'm Millicent every day. So even if I'm sitting in front of a CEO, like I really need this job, but I'm Millicent because every day Millicent is opinionated, especially depending on the role that, on the field that you are in. You can't be an accountant and not be opinionated about things. So those are the things that I would advise you to do for an interview. I hope I
Okay,
answered you. Juke, you can come in.
Yeah, you answered perfectly. What I would want to ask is, Bosi, what do you find difficult, or are there any specific questions? Like I know one of the most gut grinding interview question is, tell us about yourself. So what's difficult in the interview?
okay, thank you for that. I think maybe it was more of a nerves. It means I need to work on myself. I think the technical questions, I think I can do them very well because I do all the background and prepare everything before I go. So I think it's confidence and yeah, mostly the nerves. So it means I have to make sure that I work on that daily so that I can improve them.
Yeah,
Yes.
shall I answer you excellently? Masisi, do you have a question? Masisi? Okay, while he's still figuring himself out, um, let me also share something. So on the left is a red circle and it's 100%. On the right, it's a green circle and it's 0%. On here, let's say it's a job description, and here let's just say, for a lack of a better word, job development. So when you are looking for a job, this is their pie. Their pie is already taken care of. So it will be difficult for a hiring manager to say, I'm going to cut you a piece in this pie, because this pie is already spoken of. Um, in accounting language, there are overheads, there's rent, there's internet, there's contracts, there's subscriptions, there's salaries, there's a lot that the company is paying for. And for them to release a piece of the pie, you really, really, really have to be worth that piece of a pie. So that's why there's a lot of competition here. Here, it's there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of war. A lot of people are fighting to get a piece of this pie. But as a smart graduate, you have to think about, what is this company not doing that I can do? You can say, okay, okay, I've studied Miss Mashele. She was a psycher under 35 top 35. Her company is the Legacy Center. When I get in the Legacy Center, I can see that their social media is not really active. I know I wanted this job description. I know I wanted to be an accountant. I know I wanted to do, I wanted to be an auditor, but the chances are it'll be hard for me to get a piece of this pie. How about I introduce a new pie? You see, this pie is clean and it's evergreen and it's untapped. Because you studied accounting, you studied auditing, you say, I'm going to use my experiential knowledge, I'm going to use my education to research for them and to post social media content for them. See, now you are creating a new pie, and this pie, it's not even spoken of. So when you create this pie is going to be between you and the company. You're going to create your own piece. You are creating your own pies. So when you are looking for a company, don't just, a lot of the time we're focusing here where we just throwing a lot of emails. Hire me, I am passionate, I work hard, work good under pressure. But just study the company and see that one thing that the company is doing and create your own pie. create your opportunity where there is untapped opportunities. And when you are here, there's a lot of competition. But when you are smart and you can maneuver and you create your own opportunity, you can dominate this part because nobody is touching this part. And this is the road less traveled. So when you are looking for a job, always look for those opportunities that are untapped that you can provide with your skills, just like the example I just made now. Any remark?
I think from me, it's really the fact that there is no limited opportunities in our country. There is limited skill sets and there's limited people who can see opportunities.
Wow.
Like on a daily basis, even now, like you said, we've looked at so many CVs, but I'm still okay to say I still have space. My client still needs what? Like I know about 3 or 4 positions that can be filled if a candidate is fitting their skills. But I can't fill them because I don't trust the people, because the confidence is not there. People can't be initiative, people can't be proactive, people are not opportunity driven. So we need to shift from job looking to opportunity looking. When you look out for an opportunity, you look out for the gaps, like Mekjuk said. You look out for the gaps that you feel that helps you then create that role. Maybe there's an accountant role, but you can't get it because at the moment they're not hiring. But you can actually become my administrator who will be so effective without even being paid. You're like, ma'am, I can write for you your articles and I know you love writing. We can publish them, we can blog them. Then I know that, okay, this one has been writing about finance. She can also become a cyber art trainee because she's an accountant. But no one does that because we're job seeking, we're not opportunity seeking. And then that makes us disadvantaged. And opportunity seeking is the art to know how to find an opportunity. The art to know how to find an opportunity becomes research for future focus, proactive focus, and be able to believe in your own skills to be able to feel that opportunity. So that will be my last comment.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mashele. And my last comment would be the CVs that we considered. A lot of the candidates were doing like online courses, free online courses, some paid, like your Udemy, your Coursera, your Digify, your Google Digital Skills Africa. These are people who are taking extra classes. These are people who are going the extra mile. So you also need to go the extra mile. I'm going to make an example. There are 2 people. They each have 150 megabytes. The other one exhausts, they each have the same qualifications. They each have the 150 megabytes and they are each qualified. So the first person spends their megabytes on the internet, going through social media, watching at memes, laughing at every joke. They exhaust their megabytes on social media. The other person, they go to a free online course with their 150 megabytes and they learn every day. They learn value every day. They learn something new and they can solve complex problems in the marketplace. Who is more likely to succeed? You got it right. The second person, because they are sacrificing their megabytes so that they can get a life they want to build. So the question that I have is, how can the same situation affect 2 people differently at the same day, at the same time? And when all is said and done, it's about your commitment. It's about your own personal commitment to personal development, to learning every day. And when you have, when the little megabytes that you have, I'm going to challenge you today, the little data that you have, you should ask yourself, am I using this data to build the life that I want, or am I just fooling myself? Am I using this time, this resource, am I using this 10 rand to build the life that I want? Because guess what? You can use 20 Rand to buy data. You buy a gig a night. You have 1 gig. You watch YouTube videos. You watch online courses. Or you can take the very same 20 Rand and buy a Savannah and buy a Castle Light. How can the same situation affect two people differently? At the end of the day, our decision determines the quality of our lives. So those are my last remarks. Does any one of you guys want to close? Any remark?
After this lesson, Miss Michelle won't be throwing our CVs away. Now we have learned what they do, so I don't think you'll be throwing our CVs away. Like we have learned a
No.
lot. Thank you so much, ma'am. And Mr. Duke.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
She was a brilliant teacher, our auditor.
Thank you, my baby. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and I just want to say, guys, we live in a world where there's so many certificated and qualified people in terms of paper. So look beyond the paper, look inside you, and let the world know your personality. Don't be scared. Don't be shy.
Tell them
Millicent
about me.
Mashere is not such a brilliant English speaker, but I just believed in myself and I bulldozed teaching.
Tell them about me. Expose my secret.
Yes, I bulldoze my teaching. McJuke, for example, he has metric, Mara, he's yet guiding us. So it's not a matter of the certificate, but it's a matter of the value that you create out of yourself, because you have the value and only you can show us that value. So
Yes.
all the best, guys. It is up to
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Masisi,
want
your
Have a
voice.
great night.
Masisi, we want to hear your voice.
Masisi is okay. Masisi, do we know you from somewhere?
You do know me. I
Yes.
think it was in 2016 you gave me the IAT module 1 in the Free State.
Oh yes, I actually noted your name. So
Yes.
I was not as sure, but I noted your name. Thank you for joining in. Are you a CIA now?
But still IAT and professional accountant in South Africa.
Okay, now we must get you to be CIA. I'm gonna share you, a guide I've prepared just to get you ready. Ne?
Okay, no, thanks a lot.
All right, just send me a Facebook message so that I know where to send it to.
Drop your email here.
I think you sorry, you do have me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, sure.
Busi,
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
your closing remarks.
Okay, thank you. Won't be shooting with those AK-47 now with our we'll go through the steps and then make sure that our CV is impressive and it's good. So and it adds value.
Thank you.
And thank you, man,
you.
for your time and for everything. I learned a lot today. So I think from now on I'll be adding value and producing results as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.